Welcome, everybody. Today we discuss President Trump and Judge Boasberg is compromised. Okay, if you've been following this, you have Judge Boasberg, and this is actually crazy. President Trump is trying to deport. Uh, well, is not trying, but is deporting under ICE using a 1798 what is it? Alien Enemies Act to deport gang members from Venezuela to an El Salvadorian prison for gang members. And Judge Boasberg is has placed an injunction. And the thing about it is, this man is clearly conflicted. This man, it was not even his time to serve as an emergency stand-in judge. And what he did is held an emergency court by absorbing and assigning to himself 4 court cases. This is just like the Netflix movie Your Honor, where what is it? Michael Desiato, a New Orleans judge. The plot is crazy. It's a great series too. It's 2 seasons. So the quick and the skinny is that there's a judge, a local judge in New Orleans, whose son, 17-year-old son, accidentally runs over another 17-year-old whose father is a mob boss. And it's a hit and run. He leaves the kid for dead. The judge tries to talks his son into turning him in, but they get to the police station. The judge recognizes the mobster and decides to cover up and hide his son and what he did. And it just continues to grow and grow and grow. A lot of people die as a result of this decision by the judge. And then the judge has the mobster's older son court case assigned to him. And then he does all of this behind the scenes stuff to make sure that the mobster's son is acquitted. This is the same thing with Judge Boasberg. This man is clearly conflicted. He's clearly receiving some type of remuneration. And there's a reason why he assigned these 4 cases. President Trump has to stand his ground. He has to listen to his cabinet and stand his ground and not return these gang members from El Salvador, using our taxpayer money. He needs to continue to do what he's doing while he fights these court cases, but he should not give in. The moment that he gives in and starts, like President Trump has painted himself into a corner by saying we always abide by the court decisions. That was a bad statement and a bad decision on his part. He's human, but he's now placed himself in a position where he's going to have to violate and ignore these judges' orders, especially the ones that are conflicted, and have these cases ran up to Supreme Court. So what his method should be is he should continue to have ICE do whatever they're going to do. And all of these 64 injunctions, all of these injunctions, President Trump should continue to do what he's going to do as he fights and escalates these cases up the appellate court all the way to the Supreme Court. But he's at a vital point where he needs, like, none of these judges have the authority to do anything to the president, even if he's held in contempt of court. A judge, especially a local federal district judge, has no authority. He can't assign people. Like, he can't assign, let's say, the U.S. Marshal to go arrest the sitting president. Like, a U.S. Marshal can't just enter the White House, their Secret Service. There's nothing these judges can do. So President Trump is going to have to stay the course. So, and it's clear that once we begin uncovering the layers, we're going to find out that Judge Boasberg is compromised and is receiving some direct money through some kind of 501 shell company, nonprofit company, just like all these people are doing. In addition to that, we have the African-American representative. What is her name? Jasmine Crockett, and she's advocating violence against Elon Musk and Tesla dealerships. So she's not just saying protest; she's advocating violence. And I'm not sure why Attorney General Pam Bondi hasn't arrested her, indicted her for something. Okay. And I'm not sure why one. So what's going to happen is that an attorney general from one of these states where this is occurring that has a test, and they're doing it in blue states. They're doing it in California and New York. They're not doing it in Florida because the attorney general or the governor Ron DeSantis can ask the attorney general of Florida to indict Jasmine Crockett for advocating violence. So let's be clear about it. None of these Tesla dealerships are in red states. If they did it in Texas, Mississippi, Alabama, Florida, South Dakota, they did any of this, these people would be arrested immediately, but also Jasmine Crockett for advocating that. As of right now, they've already indicted and arrested one man who's an Asian man in Las Vegas for the firebombing of the Tesla dealership. He's now been taken into FBI custody and been charged with federal crimes as well. During that questioning with the FBI, that's when it's going to be revealed. I believe somebody like George Soros, Mark Zuckerberg, or Bill Gates is related to this. But there's some billionaire out there who's funding these attacks on Tesla dealerships. And I believe during the FBI questioning, this guy's going to give up a lot of information. Also, so very good for the local FBI offices in Las Vegas taking swift action here. But I believe that Kash Patel, the director of the FBI, as well as Pam Bondi, they need to start a fast investigation of who are the behind the scene players in orchestrating this. And I know they have a lot on their plate right now, but this is by attacking Elon Musk, these people are attacking Donald Trump, the president. And so in that space, in that light, AG Pam Bondi, Attorney General Pam Bondi, needs to escalate the priority of these investigations, because I believe members of Congress, such as Jasmine Crockett, who are like if Jasmine Crockett is advocating destruction and violence against Tesla dealerships, and they've already apprehended this Asian man in the state of Nevada, the city of Las Vegas, for actually taking action. I'm not sure why Kash Patel and Attorney General Pam Bondi have not indicted Jasmine Crockett and any other member of Congress for advocating violence, because there's a clear link. There's a clear connection here. And maybe there's something behind the scenes that I don't know. And it's very likely that they're actually taking action by gathering evidence and allowing Jasmine Crockett to continue to advocate violence until they can collect enough undeniable evidence to indict her and take her into custody. So that's what I suspect is actually occurring right now. It's interesting that all the Democrats and everybody loved Elon Musk, and now that he's supporting Donald Trump, all of a sudden they immediately hate him and they're advocating violence. Once again, I'm not sure why. President Trump has already made a statement that anybody advocating or taking violence against Tesla, SpaceX, any of the companies that Elon Musk is owner or is invested in, that is an act of domestic terrorism, and those cases will be taken up by the FBI. I believe also that Attorney General Pam Bondi needs to be more swift. However, the Democrats have left Washington, D.C. and all the federal agencies in chaos as they left, which is to me, that's a treasonous act in itself. But they left a lot of fires to deal with, and Trump and his cabinet anticipated this. So I believe that there's a lot of things that are taking place that we're not aware of. Let's see if we have any more information. Another federal judge is attempting to block Trump from dismantling the Consumer Financial Protection Bureau. So this is like Trump needs to take a stance. I mean, his back is against the wall now, and he needs to do something decisive. And I don't believe abiding by whatever rulings these local judges, because it's his call. And now these federal district judges are attempting to stop his agenda, which is to scale down the government and to get us out of a deficit. And now they're attempting to now write legislation by accepting all these cases and continuing to set up injunctions, which is indirectly directly stopping the executive branch, the president, from doing what he needs to do, and is indirectly tying up the hands of the president. So right now, President Trump needs to show some big King Kong balls and do something now. Like, it's not for me or you or anybody else to tell him what he needs to do. He knows what he needs to do, and he needs to execute it. And with the understanding and the anticipation that he's going to receive a lot more injunctions. But I don't know about you, but I'm tired of hearing about all these injunctions. I'm actually tired of reporting on them. I'm going to change the direction of what I'm reporting, because as you notice now, this is Crypto Kid TV, and we're not talking much about the crypto markets because President Trump and his economic agenda is being sidetracked and derailed by all of these federal district court injunctions. And so as a result, the financial markets are just zigzagging. It's really only the Dow Jones and the S&P 500 that actually are having any movement. So let's take a look at where they are right now. The S&P 500 is up $16 to the price of $5,639. And then let's see where Dow Jones is. Dow Jones is up $526 to the price of $42,110. That, once again, the Dow Jones Industrial Average is up $526 to the price of $42,110. And let's take a look at Bitcoin. Bitcoin is still under $90,000. It's at $83,825, up $436. This is a great buying price for anybody that's interested in holding some Bitcoin. And then wow, Ethereum is up to $27.86 to the price of $1,880. This is an excellent price to buy Ethereum. So I'm definitely considering buying some right now myself. So with that, the markets, the crypto markets, have really been hit hard during this first 2 months of President Trump's tenure. But right now, he has 21 out of 22 members of his cabinet. He's just pulled Elise Stefanik because she is a senator, and right now the margin right now between the Republicans and Democrats is so thin that finally Trump realized that after making Marco Rubio, who was a senator, making him the Secretary of State. J.D. Vance was a senator as well in Kentucky, so making him his vice president. That's 2 seats right there. And then who else? Other members of Florida, but there's been members of the House as well that have been given cabinet positions. And right now, depending on the state, the margin of victory for the Republicans is extremely thin. Trump right now needs to stop just dealing with these injunctions, and he needs to start campaigning to support the upcoming midterm elections for anybody in pivotal battleground areas. He also needs to begin now campaigning for some Republicans to pick up some vulnerable seats by the Democrats. I believe that in the House, Republicans can pick up 20 seats. In addition, the Republican in the House and in the Senate, Republicans should be able to pick up 5 to 8 more seats. One of the things I believe that Trump is doing is allowing some of these election integrity cases to move forward so he can have enough information and evidence to show that, like I personally feel that California, the state of California is doing a lot of election fraud, and Trump actually won that state. One of the reasons we know that is that in Orange County, there were 100,000 more registered voters than citizens, registered residents of that county. So that to me is where Attorney General Pam Bondi and Kash Patel should start their election integrity investigation. I think that's right to be able to uncover. And I believe what that's going to do is show that Senator Adam Schiff cheated to gain his seat, and that they can remove him from that Senate seat. So I think that's where things are going to go. Let's see what happens. I'll let you know. We'll be back tomorrow. And remember, the future is crypto.